As I was hiking in the Bear Mountains, beautiful wintry hike with a lot of snow, ice at places, and icicles hanging from the seeping rocks. I sit down by a brook with icicles, reflecting on a small water collection, creating a beautiful atmosphere. I sit down and meditate. I keep listening to the dribbling sounds of the melting icicles meeting the water collection. As I go within, I reflect deeply about the state, about the nature of everything that's in front of me, including me. None of these are permanent. Icicles come and go. This beautiful trickling sound produced by the brook will be gone. Water collection will be gone. I will be gone. It's only in this moment we all come together to create a pleasure. The pleasure which also will be gone. Everything will be gone. Everything is impermanent. All these beautiful sounds, beauty of the icicles, penetrate through my senses into my mind, my ego, which helps me connect with these objects, situations outside. But ego itself seems to be all the time. But it's not. That's the trick of the ego. If I'm meditating right now, ego identifies with the action I'm doing, meditation. I become a meditator. I will stop the meditation and continue the hike. I will become a hiker. Then I will drive the car. I will become a driver. All these various identifications keep on keeping my ego alive. And that's the bottom line. Ego is a collection of all these fleeting experiences. And then we call it ego. We give it a name of ego. But it needs some base. So we choose our body as a base. And we say, this is me. Because that, nobody can take it away. Which eventually it will. Something will take it away. But at least for now, I'm living in an illusion and calling myself this body. Identifying myself with this body. And that gives me a comfort that I am permanent. It's so naive to think that way because we all know nothing is going to last forever. In another 100 years, every single person on this planet will be replaced by other people. Every single. So there is no permanency anywhere. Where do I put my foot? Walking in sansar is like walking on a jello. I can go down anytime. Everything is mobile. Everything is impermanent. Everything is a jello. Even my body, what will happen to it, I don't know. anytime. Anything can happen. It's my identification with the body that will get hurt and it will get destroyed. With all my belief that I am this body right now, my base will be broken. My connection with the body will be broken and it will hurt me. That's what ego does. Ego makes you run after. Ego desires. It desires for various objects, people, situations. But whatever it desires is also impermanent. So what am I going to do with that? Money is impermanent. Relationships are not permanent. Houses, cars, palaces, fame, recognitions, all these things are impermanent. They fluctuate all the time. When somebody recognizes me, I'm happy. When somebody stops recognizing me, I'm upset. Ego does all these things, and yet we don't lose faith in ego. Why? Because we still do not grasp the real nature of the ego. Ego is like a dew on a flower in the morning. How long is it going to last? As soon as the sun comes, it will disappear. So the ego that takes us into all these sufferings and the emotional distresses resulting from these frictions, competitions, survival, all these things are of no use. Yes, there are pleasures. It connects you with the things, people, situations that can create the pleasure. But even that pleasure is short-lasting. So what am I going to do with that? Yes, I will like to be happy when I'm hungry. But how long would that satisfaction last? As soon as the hunger is satisfied. If I'm thirsty and drink water, yes, it will give me a great joy. How long will the joy last? As soon as my thirst is satisfied. Same with sexual pleasures, same thing with relationships. As long as both parties are willing and it continues, we are happy. When one of the parties loses the interest, we are unhappy. This is the sad state the ego has kept us in. So what do we do? Just realize this fact. Realize this nature of ego is evanescent. It continuously keeps on drying up and disappear, but we don't notice it. Just like the fan with its blades keeps on rotating. Individually there are multiple blades, but when it goes fast, it looks like a disc. Same way ego looks like so real to us. And biggest problem is because of its attachment to the body. We just have to realize this fact. Realize that there is no permanence anywhere in the samsara. And what should happen after you realize this? Realizing is not just intellectual thinking. Realizing is deeply embedding it in your inner self by meditation, contemplative, reflective meditation, and make it your own truth. When this truth gets established, ego stops running. In fact, when the running stops, ego does not remain anymore. Ego is identified by your actions, your connections that you achieved by these actions. When you realize, a dispassion starts for samsara. A bhav of dispassion starts. Dispassion is precious. It does not happen overnight. It requires a lot of contemplation and reflection within yourself. because we're dealing with your subconscious mind, dealing with your inner self. So all these changes has to happen within you. Reading or listening to discourses does not do it. You have to go within and contemplate deeply. If it takes hours, days, months, years, do it. But realize that the path of the ego is a futile path, a path of destruction, a path of impermanence, path of death, path of suffering. Why go that route? This way you prepare your psyche from within and behave like that in the world. As soon as the desires start coming up, notice them and walk away, because desires are only taking you into another trap, which will take you into more traps, and there is no end. This you have done for multiple lives, but not this life. So no desires, become self-dependent, no dependency on anyone for anything. From making money to having wisdom, create your own wisdom. Anything that you do in life becomes self-dependent. That will help you a lot on the spiritual path, because you will need that independence from within. And at some point, you will realize the futility of the path the ego has been traveling on. So what will be the result if you reach there? Your thoughts will stop, because thoughts are the medium through which ego keeps connecting with the objects and people and situations. Thoughts will stop. A peace, tranquility descends in your within. There are many things that will happen, but all those things will be beautiful. There is no way to narrate them in this talk. But main purpose of this talk was for you to realize the impermanence of everything. Walk away from the impermanence, and the permanence will knock on your door. The Advait will manifest itself, bringing troves of pleasures for you. Have a good day.